edit.
Welcome to Toronto. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Good to have you here. What a wonderful job you did in this. Your voice was fabulous. And I want to know, you get the phone call and it's like, "Hi, Phyllis. We'd like you to voice sadness." Is that an insult? Is that like,
Are you kidding? No. Anytime PIXAR calls, without hesitation, you go, yes. But actually, I didn't. When they called me, I actually did get a call lying on my couch in St. Louis. And they said, Pete Docter and Jonas Rivera would like for you to come to Emeryville to talk to you about a role in a film they're doing. And I didn't really know the time, so I said sure, and jumped on a plane. They act like they had to talk me into this, but I would have said yes on the couch in St. Louis.
Can't blame you, for sure. Yeah. Working with them and PIXAR, of course. I mean, good pedigree they have there.
Yeah, it's kind of a good combo, though.
I'd say so. And then, first voiceover experience for you?
Yes.
Okay, so you get in that booth. Now, I do understand that you did have some time working with Amy, and you did get to work with a couple of people, you had someone to work off of.
Her, for 3 times.
Right.
But let's see, my first 2 sessions that I actually did were with, someone, Amy, and then when I did my singular sessions, they were all, I was glad I had my first session with Amy because it gave me a little bit of
confidence, maybe?
Well, I don't know about the confidence, but it gave me a little bit of an idea of what I should do because I was watching that person and knowing that, okay, I'm supposed to mark this off and I'm supposed to do that. And so it gave me a little bit of frame of reference to work from because I had never, done voiceover before.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to actually, the way they scheduled us, like we worked together maybe a couple of hours and then she had to work by herself because she had to take off for somewhere. So I was able to sit back and just watch and kind of, watch the patterns with which she worked. And then we went back to working together or by myself. So I had a little bit of better frame than.
And did you did you have to stay in character, and was it a method where you were sad all the time?
Yeah. Now, I did find actually by the end of a full day that I'd be a little more mellow when I walked out of the recording session than when I walked in, just for the general, but it was always, if someone was laughing in the background, it kind of perked you up a little bit too.
Yeah,
so.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you got to take this film to the Cannes Film Festival, and what an amazing experience, but what a reception.
I know. It was pretty, well, we had gotten word, the press saw it at like 11 in the morning. It was just press only, and the word on the street was that they kind of liked it a little bit. And then that evening, when we actually did the screening with the cast and, the general public, the ovation was pretty 10 minutes, so it was an outstanding, unusual response.
I'm sure tears were flowing of happiness and not sadness.
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah,
from
of course,
everybody.
I can't imagine. Like, wow, I just get goosebumps, talking to you about it. How fantastic! Of course, everybody knows you from The Office. Loved it. I never missed an episode. It must have been. How did a show like that change your life? And just working with that cast.
It did change my life. In a number of different ways. Financially, it changed my life. Creatively, to be able to work with Steve Carell was, I don't know if you've met him, he's the nicest guy walking, and so creatively brilliant. He actually, I suppose, was my first introduction to being able to do one line 6 different ways. Because that's what you do in voiceover is you have, like you're working on one line and you have to be able to give them at least 5, 6 different reads for that one line. And Steve does that all the time. In between takes, he just stands back and all of a sudden you see the mind work and all of a sudden he steps forward and he does it with a completely different approach.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And
great.
You look at that whole cast and I always wonder when I watch it, or when I used to watch it when it was on, I was like, how do you all keep a straight face? How do you get through the takes?
We don't. If you ever saw this, there were a lot of wasted tapes on there. I found that I had one particular scene with Steve that we could not get through it. It was during my wedding, and he was trying to tell there was a pungent smell in the room, and every time he said pungent, we just giggled. And I finally, to get through it, I just held my breath. It was the only way I could get through it.
That's the secret.
That's the secret. Hold your breath until you turn blue.
Do you keep in touch with anybody? And did Steve give you any voiceover tips?
No,
Mr.
I
Despicable Me, Mr. Gru?
I asked him.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Well, maybe we could get your character together with Gru. We could have a crossover.
there you
that
go.
would be with the Minions,
Oh,
don't
I
you
would
think?
love that.
I think that would be great if everybody just
know
came
if the-
together. Yeah.
I don't know if the two companies were going to go for that.
You know what? For that, they'd unite. They'd make a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Well, what are we going to hear from you or see from you next? Anything on your plate?
I have a TV pilot on my plate for September, and we'll see how that works out. And then there's a movie in the distance. So
good. Well, we're going to be seeing a lot of you, which is fantastic.
Hopefully.
And hearing a lot of you for now. Kids are going to love this. Kids are going to love this. This is such a great film. Congratulations for
Thank you so
being
much.
a part of it and for coming in. It's such a pleasure to meet you, Phyllis.
Totally blessed. Thank you.